It's September and the kids have all gone back to school. Doesn't that feel great? You can get back to your routines and finally get your head into work. After a whirlwind year of restrictions and homeschooling, being able to get back to some sense of normality just means the world feels like a calmer place. And although time might seem to be passing really quickly, we need to remember that the year is not over yet. In fact, if you look at the financial year, which starts April, then we're actually only 6 months through the year. So we've still got 6 months left to make a massive impact. So in this video, we're talking financial habits, because you don't need a special date or a New Year's resolution to make a change. You can decide today to do something different that will make your world better, help you feel confident in your finances and in control when you think about your money. Hi, I'm Claire, money coach and qualified financial advisor. For the last 14 years, I've been working in the financial services sector and I run a successful financial services business. I'm here to help you walk into wealth, enriched, empowered and excited. I've built my dream life and now I'm going to help you build yours. And remember, if you have any questions, to post them below, because at the end of each video, I answer one viewer's question. So let's take a look at the key things we can do to make sure we're as switched on as we can be with our finances. I want to focus on the first and most important financial habit, which is creating a regular income for yourself. Let me ask you, how consistent is your monthly income right now? Because as a business owner, having your income go up and down is one of the most stressful things that can happen. It doesn't matter how much money you're making. So many entrepreneurs and people generally think that once they're earning more money, they'll feel more financially secure. But often it just doesn't happen that way, because they haven't got the right things in place behind the scenes. Just because you're now earning 6 figures or more, it doesn't mean that you necessarily have got all your financial ducks in a row. You could be making 6 figures in your business, but still feel pretty skint. So if you're not already, you need to be paying yourself a regular amount of money each month from your business account into your personal account, so that you can budget at home for all the household spending and fun stuff that you need and want. Are you paying yourself a regular wage? Or are you unsure where to start? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to take this a step further, you might want to look at setting up money pots and organising different accounts for different purposes. But if the only thing you do is set up a regular payment once a month for that fixed amount, you'll have made a massive, massive step forward. And then with 6 months left to run of this financial year, it's a good time to look at the goals we've set ourselves and whether there are things that you can do now to make them happen. Maybe you decided that next year you'd love a better summer holiday than you were able to have this year. You fancy a Caribbean cruise or a luxury fortnight in Santorini. How are you going to afford to do that? Are you going to put some money away in a separate account, setting up a standing order to go out automatically on the day you pay yourself each month? Or are you going to take on a part-time job or create another income stream that you'll use to pay just for your holidays and travel? If you don't think about it, it's not going to happen on its own. So you need to come up with a plan. But your plan needs to be manageable. The key with coming up with any new financial habit and then implementing it is that you need to do something realistic. It's the reason that crash diets don't work. If you try to cut out a whole food group from your diet, at some point you're really going to miss it. Whether you're trying to go without carbs, cut down on meat or give up alcohol, often going completely without makes it such a hard thing to do that you fall off the wagon and never really succeed in the long run. Now I know of course there are exceptions. Everyone knows a 60-day smoker who went cold turkey, but for most people it's not that way and you need something steady and consistent. Because otherwise when you haven't succeeded you feel like a failure and then you don't think you can do it and then you're not going to win. And the same thing is true with money. If you set yourself a target that's completely unrealistic and then don't make enough progress towards it, you feel like there's no point. Why even bother trying? Which is why it's so important to have a way of tracking your progress towards your goal. If you're interested in knowing more about wealth and finances, consider subscribing and hit the bell so that you get notified when I upload new videos. So let's say that next year you've decided you want to take the kids to Disneyland. You want decent seats on the plane to Florida. You know the Disney resort you want to stay in and you've got plenty of spending money earmarked to buy things when you're there. Let's Let's say it's going to cost you £10,000 and you want to put away some money each month over the next year to make sure there's enough there to pay for the trip. That works out at £833 a month. Now look at the spending patterns in your household to work out whether £833 a month is affordable. Is that realistic? And if not, you might decide you'd rather have a different holiday on a different budget. But if you really want to take the kids to Disney, then looking at your budget, you might decide that £400 a month is more realistic than $833. So you decide to put the trip back a year, giving yourself another 12 months to save. So what to do next? Well, I'd always advise having a separate bank account to keep this money in, a building society account, bank account, savings account, or even the premium bonds, but somewhere where you can put the money and it's out of sight and out of mind, so that you're not tempted to dip into it to go out for a meal or buy a pair of shoes. And then you'll want to monitor your progress. So each month you'll be looking at the amount in your bank account and watching it grow so that it's moving towards your target. And there's a massive sense of achievement when you realise that after 3 months, you've crossed the £1,000 barrier. By 6 months, you're up to nearly 2,500, and at the end of the first year, you're halfway there. By celebrating your success and moving along towards your goal, you'll feel like you're actually making progress. And that is so important because it gives you the impetus to carry on and to keep going. So it's now time for today's Ask Claire question, which comes from Jane. My travel agent has offered me a pay an instalment option for my holiday. Is that a good idea? Well, the answer is, in an ideal world, you'd have the money saved up in your account already because you've been paying into it each month. But if you've decided on a trip and not got the money already in place, you'll need another way to pay for it. Paying in instalments can be good, but remember that if the travel agent goes bust, you could lose the money. So make sure that you pay at least some of it with a credit card so that you get the additional consumer protection. I hope this has helped you take one step closer to that life you really want. So keep watching.